From the Guardian newspaper this morning, petrol may hit 1,163 naira per litre as federal government targets 4.8 trillion naira yearly from fresh tariff. President Bola Tinubu's administration is proposing a new tariff regime that could see motorists and industries pay estimated 4.8 trillion naira yearly in fresh taxes on petrol and diesel. Now, coming amid worsening poverty, the new tax regime, and the government's inability to cushion the impact of subsidy removal. The 15% import duty, alongside 7.5% value-added tax attached to tariffs, is expected to raise fuel prices by at least 22.5%, pushing the pump price of petrol from the current average of 950 naira per litre to around 1,163.7 kobo per litre. Naval chief rejects Coast Guard proposal, vows to deploy drones. AI against oil thefts, piracy. The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Idi Abbas, has dismissed call from the creation of a separate Coast Guard, saying such move will be unnecessary and counterproductive. Speaking during his Senate screening, Abbas said Nigerian Navy already performs the duty of Coast Guard and that setting up another agency would amount to duplicating functions. Stakeholders advocate evidence-based interventions on mental health illness. Vice Chancellor of Nasarawa State University, KEFI, Professor Sadatu Hassan Lima, has decried the rising incidence of mental health disorder in the country and called for evidence-based intervention and policies. She lamented that millions of people in Nigeria and globally suffered from mental health disorder, resulting in substantial economic losses and social problems, adding that the situation in Nigeria was particularly dire, with limited access to mental health services and lack of awareness about mental health issues. Nigeria is still proposing 90% of cassava yield locally. Now, despite being one of Africa's largest cassava producers, Nigeria still processes about 90% of its yearly yield locally large at the cottage level using rudiment technology. A member of the House of Representatives representing Imo, Candice Nwachukwu, expressed its concern during the plenary session in the lower house when it sponsored a resolution on the need from the federal government to ensure that cassava farmers have easy access to short-term loans as part of efforts to strengthen food security and expand the agricultural value chain. Let's move on to the Vanguard newspaper. Give us results, not excuses, Tinubu tells service chiefs. President Bola Tinubu told the new service chiefs who assumed office yesterday and promised to fight insecurity that what is expected of them are results and not excuses, as the country is in a hurry to celebrate peace. Ordering them to smash new armed groups he described as new snakes in troublesome areas of the north central, northwest, and some parts of the south. The president said, and I quote, "We must not allow these new threats to fester. We must be decisive and proactive. Let us smash the new snakes right in the head." End of quote. President Tinubu stated this at the decoration of the new service chiefs at the council chamber in the presidential villa, Abuja. Natasha invites Akpabio to Kogi project commissioning. Tensions between Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, PDP, Kogi Central, and Senate President Senator Godswill Akpabio appear to have eased as Akpoti-Uduaghan extended an invitation to Akpabio to attend project commissioning in a senatorial district. The invitation, which also includes other senators, was conveyed in a personally signed letter by Akpoti-Uduaghan and read during the plenary by Akpabio. The event is scheduled for Sunday in Ihima, Kogi State, to mark Akpoti-Uduaghan's second year in the Senate. 1 dead, 8 rescued as another building collapses in Lagos. The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, on Thursday confirmed the death of 1 person following the collapse of 3-story building in Apapa area of Lagos. Lasema also said 8 others were rescued alive from the rubble. The agency's permanent secretary, Dr. Olufemi Oke-Osoitolu, described this in a statement issued in Lagos. And on to the nation's newspaper. Shake-up in Army as COAS appoints new principal officers, commanders. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waheed Shaibu, has approved the appointment of some senior officers to sub-strategic command and positions aimed to strengthen command structures and reposition the Nigerian Army for heightened operational effectiveness. According to the statement by the Army spokesperson, Lieutenant Colonel Apollonia Anelli on Thursday. The appointment cut across key command staff and instructional positions across formations, units, and training institutions of the Army. Tinubu launches NIN Auth, says credible digital identity system key to development. President Bola Tinubu on Thursday reaffirmed his administration's commitment to delivering a credible, secure, and inclusive national identity system, declaring that such a system is foundational to Nigeria's development and governance objective. Speaking at the State House, Abuja, during the launch of the NIN Auth app, a mobile-based identity authentication platform developed by the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC. Tinubu said the initiative marks a major milestone in the nation's digital transformation drive. And onto the Punch newspaper, EFCC, NFRU launch crackdown on alleged coup founders. Military investigators probing the alleged attempted coup are working with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit to unravel the financial flows linked to individuals accused of bankrolling the plots. The Punch has learned this was an indication emerged that the bank accounts of some of the suspects might have been frozen by the authorities as part of probe procedures. And on to the explainer. NOA inaugurates a project tagged Make It Digital. The National Orientation Agency, NOA, has inaugurated a project tagged Make It Digital Bauchi project to digitally empower 20,000 youths in Bauchi State. At the launch of the project in partnership with Mega Creative Technology held in Bauchi, the State Director National Orientation NOA Bauchi, Alhaji Nasiru Machi, said the project was aimed at empowering women and youths in the state on digital skills. And that's all we have for you on Newspaper Headlines this morning. Of course, you can follow us across our social media. From Facebook, it's Lagos Traffic Radio 961 FM. On X, it is at Lagos Traffic 961. And of course, Instagram is Lagos Traffic Radio 961. And you can follow me across social media on Dayo Anthony.